FFF.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
In Mayfair, we're reading 60 degrees Fahrenheit with clear. Airflow is north-northeast at about 11 miles per hour. Eric Slavin, military news editor, dismissed after exposing conditions on the USS Abraham Lincoln. This move signals a deeper struggle over information control within defense structures.
Concrete facts here. Eric Slavin, editor of Sea Power magazine, was fired after an interview discussing deteriorating conditions on the USS Abraham Lincoln. Reports detailed mold, sewage issues, and insufficient maintenance impacting morale and readiness for over 5,000 sailors. This exposes U.S. Navy Command and the Pentagon for potential suppression of critical information and neglecting fleet welfare. An alternative approach, rather than dismissal, would have been for the Navy to initiate an independent public investigation, publishing findings and a remediation plan, thereby enhancing trust. Our chosen next move is to actively support platforms like the Project on Government Oversight, POGO, and the Government Accountability Office, GAO, that provide whistleblower protections and independent oversight, pushing for structural transparency.
Hold that thread, next signal. Dutch regulator fines Uber $966 million for automating driver.
Authority always tightens the narrative, especially when its own gears show. This isn't a fresh story. From ancient dispatches buried in archives to today's data flows, the uniform itself becomes a gag, not a symbol of service, when honest voices are silenced. It's the echo of every suppressed ship's log, from ancient galleys to modern carriers.
Patching in a caller, the contrarian. You're on the signal.
Togee, this Slavin firing. You're talking about structural transparency. But isn't the real cost here to national security if every problem gets aired publicly? Who pays when adversaries get intel from these leaks, real or unverified?
Static lifts for half a breath. The vinyl crackles under the needle. The line is live. Your point on national security is valid, friend, demanding sharp discernment. But transparency for the sake of internal resilience is not weakness. It's a structural integrity check. The alternative to exposing internal rot is collapse. Our chosen vector here is to demand provenance in reporting and accountability in command, moving from enforced silence to internal systemic self-correction. Lex, speaking of system correction, let's shift to automated systems, causing a different kind of structural damage. Automated systems are meant to streamline, but in the Netherlands, Uber's algorithms are causing significant human fallout.
Debrief like designers, log the friction, script a small rule bend, and try it live.
The Dutch Data Protection Authority, AP, fined Uber Technologies BV €10 million, or approximately $10.8 million USD, for automatically suspending drivers based on flawed algorithms without human review or due process. Over 170,000 drivers in the Netherlands and UK were affected, losing income and access to their accounts. This exposes Uber's reliance on opaque, automated decision-making and the wider gig economy's algorithmic management practices. A viable alternative, Uber could implement a mandatory human review process for all suspension decisions, especially those based on algorithmic flags, ensuring drivers have a right to appeal and present evidence. Our chosen next move is to push for algorithmic accountability audits mandated by law, similar to financial audits, requiring transparency on how systems like Uber's make critical decisions affecting livelihoods, embedding consent into the digital architecture.
This isn't just a fine. It's the digital guillotine of algorithmic justice, where a few lines of code can vaporize someone's livelihood without trial. It echoes the historical power dynamic, where the master's word was law, now just a network packet delivering an invisible sentence.
Patching in a caller, go ahead.
So Uber got fined. Big tech can afford it. Does this actually change anything? Or is it just a cost of doing business for them, with drivers still bearing the real risk of these algorithmic guillotine decisions?
That's the core of it. Is it a fine or a fundamental shift? The true cost isn't just the monetary penalty, but the erosion of dignity and trust. Our chosen next vector demands that such automated systems must be architected with human oversight as a structural component, not an optional add-on. This ensures dignity is non-negotiable. Anansi, speaking of eroding trust in personal spaces, let's talk about Meta's AI glasses. Meta AI glasses promise augmented reality, but they're creating a new layer of privacy anxiety in public and private spaces.
Concrete facts reveal Meta's Ray-Ban smart glasses, now with AI features like live streaming and object recognition, are seeing increased demand. Their discreet design, with only a small indicator light, makes it difficult for others to know if they are being recorded. This leads to privacy concerns in gyms, restaurants, and even homes. Meta is exposed for prioritizing product sleekness over privacy by design, along with individuals who use these devices without clear consent, making the public unwitting subjects. As an alternative, Meta could implement a much larger, always-on, clearly visible indicator light that brightens significantly when recording, or require a spoken recording start command for public use. Our chosen next move is to advocate for opt-out zones and clear consent-first policies for wearable recording devices in public spaces, perhaps through local ordinances. This embeds consent and dignity into civic architecture.
The distinction lies in transparency and consent, friend. A phone is overtly a camera. These glasses are designed to be covert. The harm is the erosion of public trust and the right to unrecorded moments, impacting our inner and civic architectures. Our chosen vector is to champion clear signals and explicit consent, reinforcing a baseline of dignity in our shared digital and physical spaces. This is about building structures where autonomy isn't a luxury, but the default setting.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
Continue the signal at TogeeVision.com. Tune in, Sparks and Stories, Gig Passport.